Jo Seagar is one of the best known and most loved queens of the kāuta in Aotearoa, with cooking success in every corner of the media. She's also the patron ambassador of Hospice New Zealand and takes foodie travellers around the world on her hosted trips. Nau mai hoki mai anō. Mwah. So good to have you back, Whānau.
So nice to be here, thank you.
Kei te hihiri te ngākau, I'm so excited because I know how you roll now. I know that it's always easy, it's peasy, and also it's great kai to take to a friend. Hei tohu aroha, just to show that thinking about them, I guess, especially when we're talking about the hospice as well.
It is, I think it's really nice to be able to say, I've made this for you, or this is for you. It's a lovely part of the language, isn't it? So,
Hareka hoki, it looks like we're doing sweet treats today.
got the treats on here. Got a lovely, spicy, speedy apple slice. Could be dessert, could be a cake. Useful recipe to have in your repertoire.
Ka pai, ha te mea tuarua. And what about those shot glasses? What are we doing?
Little chocolate fix later. A simple, again, it's my style, where you just fling it all in a blender, turn it on, and you can make a wonderful chocolate mousse. I think those chocoholics out there love it.
But we're going to be cooking first, or baking?
Yes, baking the slice. And look, first of all, the usual, when all my recipes start, first the oven, then the tin. 180 fan bake. Can you put that on?
Aye,
and we'll get the tin. I've got a 20 by 30 tin here, and I will line it with baking paper.
Ka pai. Ka whakamahia te rehu ne, so we're going to use some...
Just a little bit of oil spray, and I use it almost like a glue there, and then that just helps the baking paper stay in place. Can I pop that over there?
You can.
Now, I love this because everything is made in a bowl. I'm going to just measure things out. I am just a tiny bit finicky on measurements, you know. A cup is not a broken teacup with no handle. If you want it to work, it's alchemy and chemistry. And, you know, when I do a cup of flour, I mean, I've got the hands in here. You saw me Dettol them earlier. But flour there, and then I suppose you could get a knife or something, but that works for me. But that's a cup, 250ml metric cup. So 2 of those, and a cup of sugar. Right, now it has a teaspoon of mixed spice. Now I need to melt the butter, and I've got that measured out here, 125. So if you could keep your wee eye on that, Stacey.
Okay.
And I will do the eggs in here. 2 eggs if they're normal size, or 3 if they're little ones.
Kia toru ngā heki ne, so we've got 3 eggs in there.
Yes, you've got the butter melting, and I need 3 apples. I quite like a red apple, but it can be any apple. Quite good if the apples have done a day or two too long in a fruit bowl, you know, and people are a bit sort of iffy about eating them. This is a good recipe to use up apples. And again, you could use pears or, you know, mixture of.
Kua rewa. So that's gone and melted everywhere.
Right, now we're just chopping apple like crazy here. They need to be about the size of peas. You know, that's a kind of clue. Actually, it's quite a fun recipe to teach young ones because, you know, there's a lot of jobs they can do. Get them chopping the apple. There we go. Well chopped. She's good.
Tēnā koe, thank you.
Now I'm just going to add the melted butter and we give it a good stir. And it just has a simple mix-up. So how quick is that?
How awesome is that?
Right, that's perfect. Mixed. Can you pass the tray over, Stacey, and we'll just fill it in here with the paper. Again, makes for easy clean-up. And I know that, you know, people smell that sort of apple spice smell, and they think, oh, she spent hours making an apple pie, and you get all the, you know, all the raves, but hardly any effort. Yes.
Kuna tō rautaki ne, kuna tō koi. That's your little sneaky trick. I never knew that.
Aha. So I just spread it in there, get it to the corners.
Ka tukuna ki te umu, how long are we putting in the oven for?
30 minutes, straight in, easy.
Chiakareti me te waipiro, chocolate and alcohol. Things are going well.
Our favourite things. No, look, I've got the oranges there. It's a lovely orange flavour, you know, that lovely Jaffa flavour, but alcohol if you're doing it for an adult's party, or, you know, it could be Baileys, could be all sorts, but I think a wee bit of the orange liqueur. Now use 300 ml of cream, and we need to heat that up. So the cream has to be hot because it melts the chocolate and it cooks the egg. Okay, so...
Mau tēnei mahi maku ngā heki e Wawahi, so I'll separate the eggs?
Yes, if we could do that into the blender. So I need yolks in the blender and the egg white, and we will freeze that egg white. It'll be great. Okay, and again with cream, you just need to watch that it doesn't go poof right over the top. 3 size 7s are good. Right.
Ka mai haere, I'll get nervous if you...
I won't watch. Yes, I'll be marking you out of 10 for that, yes. It's quite handy to remember that an egg white's 50 mils because you might go to make a meringue or pav and you'll think, oh, what's 6 egg whites, you know? But it's quite handy to remember they're 50 mils roughly. I will start on the oranges and just zest this.
That's your favourite thing, isn't it?
My favourite gadget. And the wonderful thing is, see how it just gets to the bit that's going to be bitter and it skids over. It can't accidentally make bitter orange zest. Smell that, isn't that fabulous? That lovely orangey. I'll just, you could just bang that into there. Now, look, you could use orange juice in the blender, but I'm going to use another sort of orange juice. Throw that into the blender, and just a tablespoon would be good.
Nā reira mena kāre ia koe, so if you haven't got this...
If you haven't got that, orange juice, perfect. Yep. And now we put in the chocolate, and the chocolate bits work 250 grams. So that can just go in there. I've got the cream, and it's important that the cream is nearly boiling or quite hot because it's going to go on there and then cook that egg and melt the chocolate. And I mean, basically, I've got a very simple thing where I say, whiz it up until the racket stops, you know, of that chocolate flying around, and it's melted and it's perfect. Right, done. You can tell when it's nice and smooth like that, it's all melted, that's all it is.
Engari, kua oti te wāpoto, it's done in a really short time, smooth and ready to go.
Ready to go. So, pouring in, I'll start with this one here.
Nā ka tukuna ki te pau ka mātau, ne? So we're putting these in the fridge?
Into the fridge. They need a couple of hours. Ideally, the next day is great. Look, I'm going to carry 3. Can you manage 3 of those? And we'll pop them into chill. Let me just sneak these into here.
Tina pai. Waiho. Koriteke te aporo. So we've got the apple ready. Oh my gosh. Kare tuatu. That is perfect. Nā, koerite I te wāpoto, we've got those things ready so fast, I absolutely love it. And how do you love to serve it up?
Well, I think it's kind of nice that it's definitely a slice. It's not like a crumble. You know, I kind of work on a Weet-Bix size as my measure. I usually just dust it with icing sugar, cut it up on a plate, gorgeous with yoghurt or whipped cream or a little bit of ice cream.
And what about our chocolate mousses?
Oh yes, they don't need much, but perhaps 2 teaspoons of cream, a little bit of chopped chocolate, and I think a mint sprig just sets them off beautifully.
The kāhuangia, when they look at how beautiful they are.
But the taste, that's the real test, yes. See what you think of that.
Tino whakamātautau, I'm loving the look of the texture, a little firm on top.
Oh, nice cinnamon spice.
Koina te kura huna meki, that's the X factor, that cinnamon spice, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Because there's really nothing else in there. Just the apple.
The chakareti. Anang, there you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nope, mauri ora. Oh, where to start? I don't need much, do I? And I can see how you have that little perfect mix with cream on the top. Wow. Anone no tetahi whare kai. It's like it's from a restaurant, but I saw how easy it was. Seriously, all in a blender, but it's a special touch, ne?
And I think a good one to have, you know, when you think family celebrations, you can put raspberries and strawberries on it, you can do slices of orange, whatever, and just, you know, with a wee bit of chocolate, just extend that. It's quite economical, surprisingly, you know, for a gorgeous luxury treat.
Koina te kōrero, that is exactly what it is, a gorgeous treat, and it's been a gorgeous treat for me to have you here. Nō reira ngā mihi nui kia koe, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, I've been delighted, I've loved it.
I'm like, oh, I'm in the kitchen with Jo Seagar.